Hello everybody, welcome to the West Florida Public Library. I'm Alan with the STEAM department, and it looks like we got a present in the mail. So let's see what's in this bad boy. And of course, like every true professional, I open my box with a set of car keys. Okay, ooh, we have a Raspberry Pi. Cool. Now, that is not a pie like the dessert or like the mathematical constant. This is a $35 computer that has become quite popular amongst enthusiasts. It runs a version of Linux, which is a replacement to Windows. Let's get this box unpacked and we will go over everything. Literature, paperwork, always want to keep that handy. And all of this is available through various vendors at raspberrypi.org. All right, and right in front of us is the keyboard. Still in the plastic, lovely. And it is going to be this pretty red and cream colored. It features 3 USB ports, and that is the port for the USB cable to the computer itself. USB cable. Just gonna toss that on the floor. Okay, the next box is the case. Little nice cream colored case. It is going to be disassembled like this, so we can put the computer in it in a moment. The HDMI cable, so we can hook it up to a monitor. This is actually a power switch for the power cable. This is some other stuff. This is the mouse, and there we go. Same red and cream color as the keyboard. Lovely. And got a couple of small packages there, but we're going to keep on moving here. The next one is the power adapter. And how this works is so we don't constantly have power running to our Raspberry Pi. This little end right here is going to be plugged into the end on the power switch I showed you a moment ago. And there's a little button that lets us turn it on and off. Okay. This is a micro SD card to USB adapter. This isn't important for today's setup, but it is important if you ever need to reset the operating system and software of the micro SD card that powers the whole thing. So don't throw that away. Okay, finally the most important part is our Raspberry Pi itself. And this is a whole computer, so yeah, this is weird. Okay, and the kit we are working with today is the $55 4 gig model. Everything here is $120. But if you have some of the parts at home, mouse, keyboard, other things, you can spend as little as $35 and get a smaller 2 gig version. Okay, so let's begin going over what's in front of us. And this is part of the reason why I'm wearing the gloves, by the way, is you never want to touch a bare computer board with your hands, bare hands. The oils will damage it. Okay, so the First thing we have here is a standard Ethernet port. This is a hardline adapter port that we use to connect to the internet. 4 USB ports, 2 standard, 2 USB 3.0s, which are high speed, microphone, headphone port, 2 HDMI ports, which are micro HDMI. So you can run 2 monitors at the same time with it, which is cool. And a micro USB Type-C power adapter, which will plug into the power adapter we already have. We have some other features here with us today. A tiny fan, which will plug into our case if we want to use that. Some cooling features. These are heat sinks that we can put on our processor part and our memory part of the board here. And this is the most important part, our micro SD card. And once again, very professional by using my car keys to perforate it. And all right, and we'll go ahead and set this up in the Raspberry Pi. The trick to this is one side has writing on it, usually the manufacturer of the SD card, and the other side has shiny metal parts on it. You always want to put it in with the manufacturer's name facing towards you. And we'll do it like this. You'll meet a little bit of resistance, and that should be adequate. We'll go ahead and finish putting the computer together here. All right, this is the bottom tray of our Raspberry Pi case. And just sets in there like so. And then the top part, and that just snaps together. See, fairly easy so far. Got the top part here, and that just fits in there like that. All right, we're going to put that back down for a second. And in case you are wondering, all of the instructions for the setup that I just did are included in the box of the board. And USB cable for the keyboard. Get a little destructive there, just ripped it right out of the bag. And isn't that nice? It comes with a little white twist tie on it to keep up the Raspberry Pi and cream theme. That's lovely. And we are going to simply plug this into the little port right there. All right. So, and one more twist tie on the mouse. We are going to be plugging everything up, and we're going to see what it actually looks like. So we will start by plugging in our mouse and keyboard. I am going to use these 2 USB ports on the side, the black ones, because those are lower speed, so I can save the blue ones, which are high speed, for my flash drives or whatever else I like to use. And that's pretty much as easy as it goes, just plugging them in like that. The other part is plugging in the power. Finally, the HDMI cable, which goes into port 0. And then we can plug that into the back of our monitor. All right, now that we've gotten everything situated and our Raspberry Pi plugged into the wall as well as our monitor, it is time to see if everything works. And you can't see it on this side, but there is a little power light on the Raspberry Pi. And this is a startup screen for the Raspberry Pi. So we are getting signal, and it should start the booting process. And sometimes there's a startup screen the first time you do it. Yep, it's starting it. which is fine. We're going to see here in a second. So this is literally the experience you'll get setting up your Raspberry Pi yourself. All right, now all we got to do is click on OK. And if I can get it over there. And it's going to do a little hop and a reboot probably. And this is how you can tell when the system is loading in. Those raspberries will show up, that screen will flash. Look at that. All right, we're going to pop through this screen here. Next. Yes, we are in the United States. Yes, we are going to go with English today. We are going to change this to Chicago, so that way we'll get our time settings right. It is a US keyboard, and then we'll click Next. And that is pretty much most of our setup process here. I'm going to show you how to connect to the internet. It wants a password. I'll go with the classic password. I don't recommend you use that though, ever. And it is now searching for networks. This is great because we can now get onto the internet. Now, if you're at home or at school or at work or another location, setting up the wireless network will probably prompt you for a password. But here at the library, we don't have passwords because everybody should be able to use the internet for free. All right, it looks like the setup is almost done here. Right now what it's doing is that it is searching the internet for updates to the software that was already installed. Sometimes this can take a moment. We're going to do a little web search to one of my favorite websites. You can find out more about our library, our web services, and more cool stuff like this through our Steam department, and that is mywfpl.com. Thank you for being with us today, and have a good one.